Hey guys, out roasting coffee again tonight. So figured I might as well do a quick video roasting some Ethiopian, some Dominican Republic, some Colombian, some good stuff. If you're ever in Western Pennsylvania and you want to swing by for a good cup of coffee, I know a guy. But anyway, I'm doing a VR for Mark's Dodgers cards today. He's celebrating 1 year on YouTube, which is awesome. It's great that he's done that. He's so focused on Dodgers and those players, and I love that. I'm not as focused. Just the way I'm collecting right now is a little different than that. But he asked us to share. He has to do two things. The primary one is to share kind of some of the cards from our favorite team set, like what set of cards, and then what's our team from that set. I'm going to do that a little differently than I think he intended, but I think it'll be okay. Mark, if it's not, I apologize in advance. You can just let me know. But when you say favorite sets, like even if you just limit it to tops cards, it's very difficult to do. Like, what's my favorite top set? I don't even know how to answer that question. Like, there's so many great cards. And John P. Collects was showing his Ernie Banks rookie card, and and in a video that I was watching this morning. I'm not sure if it came out last night or anyway. Such a fantastic card. Those sets in the early 50s, 52, 53, 54, those are fantastic sets. And then here's my actual first shout out. The other thing Mark asked us to do was to shout out three channels. I'm gonna shout out three channels, but I'm gonna do them. I'm gonna do one now. I'll do the other two at the end. But the the first one I want to do is Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. Now I realize he's got a lot of viewers. Certainly doesn't need a shout out from someone like me, but he was doing a video, and this is the reason I wanted to shout him out, because he was doing a video a few days ago with Matthew, and they were talking about the 56 top set, and the more they talked about it, the more I was like, yeah, that's got to be the best set. Like the 56 top set, it's got so many of the major players in the post-war world. Like, I mean, there's so many of them. You get Jackie Robinson and Roberto Clemente, and you get all of these great players. And there aren't many sets that can boast the amount of players. So regardless of rookies, just the players that are in that 56 top set. Plus, as they were talking about the cards, it's just this growing appreciation. So I'm like, well, maybe it's the 56 set. And I love the 56 set. There's some great cards in there. I've got a couple of great cards from the 56 set that I'm really happy with. But the question was about our team. And that actually is a little bit different. And I want to talk about why and what I'm going to show. I'm a Pirates fan. And so what cards am I going to show you, and what year am I going to show you, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Let me shout out two more channels real quick, and I'm going to shout out a specific video for both channels, but I think that I'll add links to them in the description. The second one then is Hammer 44. He put out a video just a few days ago, just called How We Collect. He puts so much time. I'm one of the pop on the camera, and I might restart it once or twice if I stumble over my words at the beginning. But for the most part, I pretty much just turn the camera on, record, turn it off, upload. Like, I'm one of those guys. Not him. Like, there's so much work that's been put into that video that he hasn't done a lot of videos, but man, just that one video, and I was like, I'm hooked. Like, it was such an interesting and I think important kind of conversation about how we collect. And I know that's been some conversation on YouTube lately. And then the last one is Gannon over at JGA56. He's a newer channel. He's been on YouTube, I guess, commenting for a long time, but just started the channel recently. And the people you just want to make sure you don't miss their videos. You do the little bell things so you get the push notifications. I've done that with him, with Gannon's videos, because he puts out, I love hearing him talk about cards, because he's talking about cards, and you can hear the passion, and he's got this deep gravelly voice anyway, but just the way he talks about his cards, you can hear the passion, and I've really enjoyed listening to him talk about his cards and him showing his cards, and just talking through why he likes certain cards and players. It's just been a lot of fun. Like every one of his videos, I really enjoy them. But I'll recommend one specifically, because I'm trying to do that for all three of these. For him, he did I think it's his most recent video. He did the complete 1964 Topps Giants set. Now, you've seen those cards. I've shown a couple of those cards. Most people have. But he actually goes through the binder and shows you, and he talks about how he acquired them, and that's an interesting story, and so worth checking out that video. So I'll put links to the three channels: Dan's Vintage Baseball PC, Hammer 44, and Gannon over at JGA 56. And I recommend you check them out. Anyway, so for me, when you talk about the Pirates, there are significant years. So if you just limit it to post-war, my question when asking, like, what's your favorite for the team, it's like, well, what year is significant for the team? And a bonus if the cards look great as well, right? Like I want the cards to be a great set, but I like most of the top sets. So there really aren't sets that I just don't like, and so that kind of aside, I do want to pick a great set, but I would also like it to be a set of some importance to my team. And so I picked 1971. Now, in the post-war, so in the Topps kind of era, the Pirates have won 3 World Series, 1960, 1971, and 1979. So why pick 71? I picked 71 for me because I love the 71 set. It's one of my favorite vintage card top set. I love the 71 set. I also think that Pirates cards look great with the black border. Like the color match and all of that just works with the Pirates. But there's something that's significant in the 1971 season. Not just that they won a World Series. Actually, the other thing that happened is in September of 1971, the Pittsburgh Pirates were the first baseball team to put an all-minority team out on the field. That's significant for a lot of reasons, and they didn't really realize. Like, they went out there and the guys were talking to each other and like, hey, do you realize what's happening? They looked around the field and noticed there's no white man on the field. And so for the first time in Major League Baseball history, in the major leagues, right, you look out on the field and they were all either black or Hispanic players, and so I'm actually going to show 5 of those players. I don't have all of them. I don't have the Clemente. I've talked about that recently. I'm hoping to get that one at some point. I'm actually trying to finish the 71 Pirates team set. I've got quite a few of them, and I'm going to show you 5. I'm going to specifically show you 5 that were on the field that day in September of 1971 when the Pirates took the field. And one of the neat things about that story is that the manager, Murtaugh, he wasn't trying to do anything. He wasn't trying to make a statement. He said, I just put the best guys out on the field. And so that was these guys. And so let me turn the camera around. I'll show you a few cards. Just going to show you 5, and then I'll bring this thing to an end. So let's do that real quick. All right. So like I said, I don't have all of them from that day, but I do have 5. 5 of the ones who were playing on that day in September. I have pitching, Doc Ellis. I've shown 1 or 2 of his cards at least on here before. Maybe this one. I'm not sure. He's got some stories. Anyway, Doc Ellis was on the mound. Catching for him was my man Manny Sanguin. Love this guy. Love his cards. Love his story. Just a fantastic catcher. All-star, a few years. On first base, Mr. Al Oliver. He was not in outfield that day. Outfield, Clemente was in right field, right where he belonged. Center field was Gene Klein's. Then finally over at left field is, let me get a little closer there, Willie Stargell. So, if you're to ask me what's my favorite top set of all time, well, the answer is going to be a little bit different. If you're going to ask me what's my favorite team set to collect, it's probably going to be 1971 Pirates. And this is why. What a fantastic year. Of course, ended with a great World Series. But I could show some more cards from this team, but I just wanted to stick with these 5 for today just because of the story behind it. But anyway, Mark, thanks for the opportunity to do this. Thank you if you're watching. Any who are watching up until this point, I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.